Hello. Happy Monday, January 20th. Margaret Lloyd here with Eternal Shift New Life. Let's keep learning about how to reclaim our lives because we need to reclaim our life. So we're going to talk about this article is 8 ways to reclaim your life. And this comes from, because I always want to give credit where credit is due. This is written by Brian Gardner. Found this on Google. So, let's get down to these nitty-gritties and see if we can do this. All right? I know we can. Because every day this week we're going to learn about how to reclaim our life. And there's, as we all know, there's more than one way to do this. And so we're going to do it one day at a time. So let me close this door. And turn my heater on. Because it is chilly in here. There we go. Lay down, Snickers. Lay down, baby. You just had a treat. Lay down. Lay down. You just had a treat. You don't get another treat. Okay, I think one of the most important elements is the intentionality in which we live our lives and our underlying desire to find happiness. We simply want to enjoy a well-designed life. Absolutely. That's all we want. We want to have a life that we can enjoy. And we can smile and be happy. That's all any of us really want. We don't want anything spectacular. However, there's this thing called distraction, which has a tendency to get in the way of who we are and what we want to do with our life. It's usually a subtle thing, like the tide in an ocean, and before we know it, we're lost at sea. Mine was a almost 40-year marriage that half of that lifetime, that 40 years, was in stress and trauma. The last 20, 25 years was nothing but stress and trauma for me and my children. So my children are working on their lives. They've been away from, because they're all grown, and they've been away from what was transpiring. At least the older two. My youngest, who's 36, he probably experienced more of it than the other two that are older, because the oldest one left when she was 19 and she's now 49 almost, or will be this year. Yeah, wow. 49. And then the second one, he left when he was 17, and if she's going to be 49, then that means he's going to be 42. So they were away from it for a while and didn't live the life that my youngest son and I lived. And so they're doing good. But my youngest and I, we're messed up. He messed us up. The good news is we can easily change course and get back on track. And that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, it took me a while, but I'm here and I'm getting through it. And this is going to be 8 ways to reclaim your life. Don't be overwhelmed with this list. You start with one item and see how it goes. We're all a work in progress. Absolutely. But up front, most of these actions are things that you need money to do it. And if you don't have it, you ain't going to do it. But you can dream about doing it. So the first one is that he suggests is travel. Go places you've always wanted to visit. Oh, I would love to. So 2 years ago, he was sitting up in his office, mindlessly browsing through his Instagram feed. He realized there was a deep feeling of resentment he was having for his friends who were posting photos of places that he wished he was. Snow-filled mountains in particular. He decided right then and there, I need to make a change. And I know I need to make a change. I really do. It's just not always easy to do. You have to have resources. So he walked downstairs, told his wife, I'm going to Colorado this winter. I need to be in the mountains and experience life. Either you can go with me, or I can find some friends to meet up there. That wasn't very nice. But that's the way it should be. It is very nice. He shouldn't have to expect her to go with him. If she wants to go, she can go. If she doesn't, she doesn't have to. So the way he did it was not. Oh my God, this is mind-blowing to me. This just blew my mind. Because in everything that I have done in my past life with my narcissist, if he said he wanted to go somewhere, I was ready to go. I wanted to be there too. I didn't think I had the option of not going. So when my ex would say things like, I can have a promotion, but we have to move somewhere. I could have said, nah, not gonna happen. I ain't moving. My kids aren't moving. If you want the job so bad, then you go, you do your job, we'll stay right here. I should have done that. I should have. Hindsight's 2020. So I think of, like, when we were in Detroit, living in Royal Oak, I should have just told him, if it was just going to be a year, go do your job, come home on the holidays, whatever. Kids and I would have been fine. I should have done that. That may have saved our marriage, but maybe not. So hindsight's 2020, who knows? But it's a thought. So he writes, this past December, 10 of us took a trip to Breckenridge and enjoyed some much needed time away. It is now an annual thing, and we'll call it Brocation. And that's a good thing. I'd like to start up a sistercation. You know, a bunch of gals go hanging out. I'd love to. Kathy and Susie do this all the time. I would love to join them. But I don't think I'll ever be invited, but whatever. Unplug from your devices every now and then. We live in a day where access to our smartphones makes us dumb. Tablets, laptops is practically 24/7. At any given moment, we have the luxury of shopping online or opening our emails, and that's a blessing. It can also be a curse. There's nothing wrong with using our devices, but it's problematic when we become addicted to checking in and to start the abuse and start to abuse the privilege. It's crucial we prioritize those we love over our devices every day of the week. Absolutely. Have conversations. Actually talk with people. Seize the day and talk deeply. There's something to be said about sitting across the table from your favorite person, enjoying a cup of coffee, and having a fine conversation. It's something I don't do often enough, but something I'm being more intentional with. While you're at it, be sure to ask questions and dig below the typical surface that conversations seem to stay at these days. Be authentic, speak openly, and reap the reward of love and friendship the way they were meant to be. Declutter. This is, I know. I got to remove unnecessary junk from my life. But there's so much in my life that I don't know it's got to the point I don't know what's junk and what's not junk. To me, it's all junk. I just soon throw it away and start from scratch. But the old saying goes, where your junk is, there lies not your treasure. Obviously, this begs a significant question. Why do we end up buying too much stuff that we ultimately don't end up using? Well, it's safe to say that many of us have excess in our homes, in our cars, and in our closets. Make good use of the stuff you don't need by donating it or giving it away. Let someone else use it and enjoy the stuff you don't. Try new things. Have no fear and enter the unknown. That's like I've entered the unknown of knitting. And I'm enjoying it. It's a long process. And here he writes, a few years ago, my wife and two of our friends signed up to run the Las Vegas Rock and Roll Half Marathon. At the time, I was lifting weights and had never run more than a mile. This was quite the challenge. Though I would have gone as a spectator to support them, I decided to run it with them. Not only was I unconditioned to run the race, I only had 4 weeks to train, but train I did and proudly finished the race. That's good. 5 years and 24 half marathons later, running is my passion and something I do 5 days a week. I never would have imagined I would have loved it so much. But taking a risk and trying something new paid off. Next stop is a full marathon, 26.2 miles. Reminisce. Look back and remember things that matter. Remember good things. Don't think about negative things. Think about good. He says he's a romantic, always have been, always will be, but one thing I don't do often enough is look back on my life and remember things that are worth holding on to. Maybe this has something to do with the fact that I'm constantly on the move. Could be constantly thinking up new ideas or constantly attending to things on my to-do list. Regardless of the cause, it's therapeutic for me to close my eyes and think about my journey. It's something I want to go out of my way to do more often. I need to sit back and think about happy times, happy places, things that bring me joy, bring me peace, bring me happiness, instead of thinking about things that don't. And I know I can do this. After all, why wouldn't you want to remember the best days of your life? You know, I can think back to when my daughter was born, and how happy I was to hear her cries. And when my son was born, how happy I was to hear his cries. Those were two of the happiest days, best days of my life. Solitude. Spend time all by yourself with nobody else. That's why I like doing these. Because I am. I'm in my office by myself with my computer and my dog, because she gives me joy. I can talk and talk and talk and talk, and she doesn't talk back. She doesn't. She just is happy as can be to be laying at my feet. Confession time. This is by far the item on the list that I probably struggle with the most. And if I'm being honest with myself, it's because I don't want to hear what the silence in my life has to tell me. It has to tell me a lot of stuff. Pair it with a job that requires me to spend 8 to 10 hours a day online, which I enjoy doing. I enjoy being on the computer, looking up better ways to improve my life and your life. Because this world is so messed up that I don't know what to say about it. And you have the making of a built-in excuse, which I use quite often in order to avoid solitude. The truth is, I sometimes wonder if I know how to experience solitude. Absolutely. It's a hard thing to deal with. It's a hard thing. It's like meditation. It's difficult, but it's something that needs to be done. And we have to do it freely, greatly, in a way that it helps us. Nevertheless, it's something I know I need to do because if anything, it recharges my creativity and makes me more productive. For now, consider this a do as I say, not as I do suggestion. Just keeping it real. Rest. Stop what you're doing and do nothing. Just sit there. Just sit there. Look out a window. Just enjoy what you see. If you're looking at a plant, look at it and see what you can make out of it. See if you can, like you see these pictures online of, can you find the squirrel, the deer? See what you can find in a plant, in the dirt, in a tree, or in a cloud. Remember how you used to be a kid, and you'd look up and you'd find all these awesome shapes in the clouds? Go outside, be a kid. Find the different shapes in the clouds, in the grass, in the trees, in the plants, in life. This might sound a bit like solitude, but the difference is that you don't need to rest alone. For me, this means I need to shut down my computer, put my phone away, and do something other than work. Perhaps this is opening a book, taking a walk, flipping on the TV. However it looks, the idea here is to break up the monotony of the day and participate in events that break the norm. Or maybe it means laying down in the middle of the afternoon and dozing off for a while. It's amazing what a 20-minute little power nap can do for you when you're 41 or 71 for that matter. Design a simple life for yourself. That's what we're trying to do in reclaiming our life and sanity, is we're trying to design a simple life. And that's what we're going to be learning all this week, how to design a new life of less stress and more love, less of what you don't need. It's a process, and we're all in it together. Okay. 30 days to a simpler life. Why? I know, these people got to make money. I'd like to, but I know you got to put out money to make money. I understand that concept, but if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. So I'll just keep doing the best I can. Well, okay. So we'll figure it a better way. But this was fun. This was enjoyable. Tomorrow we'll come up with a different way of doing this, because there's so many different ways of reclaiming your life. We have to do this. We have to make our lives simpler, more positive, less negative. Absolutely. And we can do this. We just have to do it. We just have to get it done. And that's what I want us to do, is get it done, make our lives easier and less stressful and more productive. And remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and know that I love you all and that we're going to get through this life and we're going to make this life so much better. I know we can do it. Together, we can make things happen. Okay? Now remember, like, comment, and I want you to comment on whatever you want to comment. If you want to give me an idea of something to talk about, please do. If you have a comment about what I have been talking about, let me know. Especially if you like it, okay? I love you all. Take care. See you tomorrow.